Hello, everyone. Welcome to DevStandup episode 13. And our guest speaker is today Cesar Segura. I would like to give a bit introduction about our guest speaker. Cesar is a Snowflake's principal architect and SME in SDG Group Spain, and is currently Snowflake Data SuperHero since 2025. I would like to congratulate about him. And he's an influencer, active writer on Snowflake Medium and Snowflake's Barcelona Group Leader Chapter. He has also collaborated in different initiatives as Snowflake's principal advisor and other data architecture strategies on SDG Group. Our topic today is going to be Snowflake's Cortex AI demo, which is going to mainly talk about, as you know, that AI generative flows are positively impacting our platforms, and we must leverage them smartly to enhance the business insights. And in this demo, Cesar will show us Snowflake's AI features and build a RAG application using Snowflake's Cortex Intelligence, which is a data agent that orchestrates Cortex analysis and Cortex search. I think that's the really kind of hot topic in today's IT world, and I would like to hand over the microphone to Cesar, and we could listen to your session. So here you are, Cesar.
Thank you very much for your introduction. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. So to share some thoughts about how to use Snowflake AI Cortex, that is the features that offers Snowflake in order to provide GenAI capacities for all your data platform. And today I would like to talk about how to do a RAG application as we're using Snowflake Intelligence as the final step. But there are some other features that we have to set up in our data platform in order to achieve that. So it's very easy, but we will talk about what are the different pieces that we have to confirm and set up in order to do that. Before starting, I would like to talk to make a brief introduction about myself. So, as the presenter has introduced me, I am a Snowflake and a Snowflake data hero. I really enjoy with all the Snowflake stuff. So I post here the different accreditations that I currently have, but there are a lot of them that I don't post here, but these are the main ones. So I really like the Gen I about the last time, and I will enjoy with all that type of stuff that using GNI application or all the features that we are and that you have to use. And I have experienced a lot of articles that I do. So I am a frequent contributor on Medium. I have a lot of articles about the last ones about the GenAI, but I have other about architecture, security, and observability as well. So I post very frequently in LinkedIn that you can enroll with and add me as a contact. But I have other membership collaboration with Snowflake. I am a Snowflake moderator. Since the last year, I first ranked collaborator because is ranked about the activity and the collaboration with different members and the community itself. And I am leading the Snowflake Barcelona user group lead. But I have doing 8 editions since last year. But today we will see a demo that I have used on the last the last session in that user group. Okay, so I'm talking about how Snowflake AI data cloud is conformed. So there is a solid data foundation about the interoperable storage. There is structured, semi-structured, and structured that provides quality and reduce our the hallucinations about the data, about the information that we have to use, using the different elastic computes that provides the different capacities about the compute, CPUs, GPUs, and Snowpark and container services that for your custom application using the different languages. About this behind the hood, we can use the Cortex AI. This is Cortex AI is using that storage with that compute and provides the different capacities about using the different models, LLM models, that you don't have to subscribe to any specific one, and provides different wizards studios that is with the configuration about your features that you can use in order to use AI in your data platform, and can provide different APIs in order to externalize some features in that way. And as always, that on the top, there are the different cloud services that provides the horizon about the governance, manage metadata, and security and compliance that is secures about all the data, all the features on the top of that features that you are using with GenAI. And finally, we can even use the snow grid that is only the cross-region and cross-cloud capacities in order to use the different regions and combine the different clouds in your data platform, whatever that you are using your data platform, or provide the different capacities for the different brands and for your corporation, and etc. Okay, so this is the main framework about the Cortex AI. So on the top there is agents and insights, processing and retrieval on data. But we are providing that the data itself is using the different data connectors about the recent launch about the using OpenFlow. We can use other type of data about the Snowflake marketplace itself. There are other type of data about the multimodal, that there is the typical one, tables or docs, audio, image, and maybe in the future videos as well. So, but on Cortex AI, there are different processing features in order to provide that capacities about the GenAI. The Cortex Search is the service that we are using for unstructured data retrieval. The Cortex Analyst is for structured data using your semantic views or semantic models itself. And there are other ones, for example, for the document processing about document AI for generate some specific LLMs that are more performance and more accurate values, etc., that provides that specific outputs for your data and are very specialized with the documents that you are using, not generalized ones. Okay, but parse information, parse function about the extracting information and embedding the different techniques about how to embed and use vector databases here. So on the top, there are agents and insights that we can use the different services. Cortex AI SQL that provides insights about using the different LLMs for the general ones using SQL in batch or maybe in near real time with Python, or Cortex agents using APIs that provide the capacity of orchestrating the different tools that we can use. Okay, so Cortex Search or Cortex Analyst, and finally Snowflake Intelligence is the application itself from the Snowflake that we can use in order to set up our agent that is in charge to use the different tools. Okay, on the right we have the different models that we can use. There are a lot of them that there is no listed here, but then there are other features about the inference data or fine-tuning LLMs and using that for APIs, and the different embedding models adapted for specific languages, specific encoding and text, etc. And finally, we can enjoy with the different features about the governance, RBAC, guardrails, about how to guide to the agents and don't allow to do some specific actions or retrieve some specific response when we are interacting with our data agents, evaluation and monitoring in order to observe how there is interacting the different agents with or in our platform about the accurate responses, cost, and performance. And finally, the AI gateway that is in charge of retrieving and how to limit some specific functionalities about the length about the responses. Some specific information can be filtered using row access policies, etc. Okay, so we are going to see the Cortex Analyst, Cortex Search, DataAgents, and Snowflake Intelligence. So in that case, we are going to start how is it working Cortex Analyst. Cortex Analyst is we are starting with a semantic model. Can be a semantic view as well. But once we have set up our semantic model, the different applications, whatever the application comes, can be a Streamlit one or Snowflake Intelligence. Make the question a text question, and finally this is launched to the REST API. This is the Cortex Analyst feature in Snowflake Intelligence. So on the first step is that question is classified and reached with an LLM in order to try to understand that question and to transform that text in a SQL. That transformation in SQL is using the semantic model and try to infer that question in a SQL. Once that question is generated with using the different LLM models that are in charge of that, this is the response to the application. So once the application is retrieving that SQL, is the same application that is in charge of execute that SQL and get the response and the answer to the application. Okay, so the Cortex Search is basically the way to extract to get that information, text information, and put that in a service, in a vectorized database, in order to provide the service of the different retrieval unstructured information. How to do that? So it's usually to use an extract functionality functionality that is using the parse document function that extract information about our states. The state is the object that stores the different non-structured information about files, etc. Extract that information from a state, can be a shared point as well. Once that information is extracted, is stored in a table, and once is using the is chunkinized, that information is tries to extract the full content of the text and tries to divide that information in several parts in order to make an accurate different searches and to provide more accurate information and store that information in a table for further uses. Once that information is stored and divided in different rows for the same document, the Cortex is in charge of embed and build an index about that information. It stores that in a vector database. Okay, and when that service is set up with that table, okay, the different applications tries to use that Cortex service that provides that service in order to get the different results about our semantic search. Okay, we made a question, and that question is sent to our Cortex service, and this provides the different results in the different results that are very accurate with the different chunks that we have provided in our vector database. Okay, and once that different results are provided with an scoring setup that we can personalize, that the results use an LLM function in order to provide a contextualized answer in order to our question. We made a question about one specific question. This specific question is sending that information to make the different results, and with that results are parsed and using the LLM function to generate a real response and accurate response to the user. Okay. The Cortex agent is the tool, is the feature, not the tool, that is in charge of in orchestrate the different tools that provides Snowflake to use the structured information or non-structured information. Okay, that we can make with our application our questions. Okay, the different, we can use Streamlit, Slack, Teams, Node, or Snowflake Intelligence that is missing here. But that Cortex agent is in base of the question. We are using he's in charge of to analyze what tool has to use. Okay, so in that case, the question is send it to the different tool, and he is using once the tool is replying that information to the agent with the response. Okay, the agent evaluates that information and try to iterate about the different response that have been retrieved from the different tools that here is using. Here is very simple, but we are using Cortex Analyst or Cortex System, but we can use different semantic views, different Cortex search, can be a lot of them in our data agent. Okay, but depending of the question, the agent is in charge to analyze what tool to use in that case. Okay, but behind the scenes, we are using in DataAgents AI observability in order to evaluate the different capacities that we are using in order to see if we are using the agent correctly, or maybe the persons that they are using the agent and they are using correctly that agent, or maybe the agent is not working properly, or in order of is not providing a good response, or is delaying a lot of time, etc., etc. We have here is very important to make that step in order to evaluate our application. Okay. So, and finally, we can use the Snowflake Intelligence. That is more or less that. This is the final roadmap. Here there are a lot of features, but we are going to see a few of them. But this is it's the same that it's a GPT. We can provide our prompt and we'll make our questions. We can upload the different documents, analyze, interact with our own data, and we can make the different connectors about the Gmail, Drive, Salesforce, etc., and pin our recent conversations or graphics that we have built with our interactions with Snowflake Intelligence in order to directly check that the diagrams and update once we log in directly with Snowflake Intelligence, and we can see directly that pinned diagrams, and that can be interesting to check in a reiterative way. Okay, but finally we are trying to do that. So we have different documents. Here we have the phases of the governed data and our process engine. We are ingesting information about PDFs in our database, and information about revenue as well in the different schemas, audit docs in marketing, and revenue data in revenue time series schema. That information is directly loaded on the Cortex search about the audit docs, and we provide a semantic view in a revenue time series information. Okay, and finally we will use Cortex agents in order to set up on both of the tool, the Cortex search and Cortex analysis, and we will use Snowflake Intelligence in order to interact with our agent. Okay, so let me jump to the how to set up this. Okay, here I have a notebook that I have just used it on my last workshop about the Cortex AI. So here it's very easy. So we have to set up our environment for the semantic layer. We can create our role in order to use the different features about Cortex. Okay, we create our database and a warehouse in order to use our compute in that way. And finally, we create a stage to store the different files and the tables to store that information. Okay, but here is that information is stored here. This is the stage that we have the different files, and this is the different tables that we have the information. Okay, that we are going to use on this demo. This information is loaded using the different steps. You can use very easily load it in the stage using a wizard. Okay, once you we upload the files in the stage, we can use that statements in order to load that information in our tables, okay? And once we have done this, we can stay in the step that we can provide our semantic view. So we have the data layer about the tables, about the stage. We have loaded with a copy into commands that information in our tables, and we have built we are going to build our semantic view. A semantic view has this let me check here. Okay. This is a semantic view. It's very easy to build. There is a wizard that you can use. It's very easy. So you have to do is select your tables, and you have something like this. We can provide the custom instructions about how to interact with how to generate. How there are rules about the SQL generation. Okay, you specify your logical tables and you document that information. You can use an automatic features in order to auto document that information. Is okay. So if you push here and generated files, this is fulfilled automatically reading the information that we have in the different tables. And when you have the different tables set up, you establish the different relationships between that tables. We have only a daily revenue fact and two dimensions, the product and region one. Okay. And here we have the verified queries. That is a repository when you have the different queries, the most common queries, in order to assimilate the question that we are that the user is making to the tool, in order to correlate that information with the most common use in that way. Okay. Once we are using that, so here is very easy to use the Cortex search environment. We in the same way we create the stage in the location on where we are going to load our documentation, all the files. Okay, and we create a warehouse in order to use with that Cortex search. Okay, we upload or the files in that stage. Is we can see that if we let me here. Okay, in marketing we can see that in that stage we have the different PDFs documents. Okay, when we have uploaded the documents, we have the table that will store all that in a raw data. All the PDFs are loaded in a raw way. So if we execute that, we store that information, and using the parse document. Okay, and in the same way we have is seen in the slides, we are using the parse document functions in order to extract that information. Okay, so here is the full content. It's a one row, all the content. Okay, so one document and one row. Okay, the next step is to make the chunk about the different documents. Okay, but there is a chunkinized the different information in order to make more accurate searches, not trying to avoid not making searches about a lot of content. If you can make an accurate search about the less information, it will provide better results in the semantic in the semantic searches at the end. Okay, so there are different chunks about the information. Okay, this is the size of the chunk and the overlapping about the characters and the number of characters overlapping between the different chunks. Okay, and finally we provide here some use about the AI complete. We are going to try to classify the different documents using the name of the PDF file name, and to classify in bike or snow. Okay, we are trying to we using the AI SQL as seen before. We're trying based on the file name is trying to classify in the different categories, and finally with that information we update our final table with that categories. Okay, so we have here the different chunks about the different data, and finally we have the category information. Okay, so and finally we have that information. We create the Cortex search service with we specify the chunk, where is the chunk text in that way. That attributes category, the attributes is the information, the columns that we are going to base in order to if we want to filter the information in our searches, and the warehouse that we are going to use in order to make that service. Okay, under the hood it will create that vector database, and that can like about the refresh about this service. Okay, and finally this is how to enable our Snowflake Intelligence environment. If we enable once time, we don't have to enable later, and we are going to see how does it like the Cortex an agent. Okay. Okay, we see that this is our agent. Okay, so we established a name, a description about the agent. We can check the different example questions about how to orientate our user, what type of question that we can make. Okay, the different tools that we establish, we can add the different tools that we want to use. In that way, we set up our semantic view that we have seen previously. We are using our Cortex search that we have established in a previous step. And once we are using only this, so we establish the orchestration setup about what model we want to use in that way. The orchestration structure, this step is very important. That you have to contextualize to the agent. You are an expert business information user about the sales and marketing, and what rules that has to follow in order to use what tool in that way. So use that tool to provide information about this, and use that one in order to provide information about this other one. Okay. The response instructions and budget configuration about or time limit, token limits. So if we are going to establish some limits about how to use that agent. And finally, the access, if we want to allow the use to specific roles only for that agent. Okay, if we are going to finally, in order to use that agent, we can use that access, okay, directly to Snowflake Intelligence. It will open that web page. Will come to you in that way, and you can use the different agents that you have privilege to use in that way. We are going to use that one, and we can make some questions about it doesn't matter. So this is using the different tools. You can establish auto select sources. It will automatically detect what type of tool that it will have to use in that way. We can make what are the sales, for example, we can make that question, what are the sales of the 2024 year. It will automatically detect what tool has to use in that way, and so it will provide information about the data that we have to use. So once we can show details and hide details in order to check all the steps that the agent is following, and finally to check that information is properly adapted with our requirements. We can ask whatever that we want about the show me progression of the sales by month for this year, for example. Okay. And we can iterate about the information, and in the same way that we can use any RAG application, for example, for ChatGPT or whatever that we can see. And finally, we can iterate about the all information, non-structured, structured data. It doesn't matter. So and is using the different tools about showing insights. Okay, and finally, we can use and adapt our requirements for in that way for to use that diagrams. For example, we can use if we want to check and change something about that about this graph, we can specify and modify whatever that we want in that way, or download, or whatever that you think that you can use in that way. Okay, and this is finally, if we want to, what is, for example, the name of the, in order to check the other tool that for about the non-structured information, it will detect the other tool that is using the non-structured information, and we can use we will provide, it will find the better chunk, and with the result about the better chunk that is in row, it will provide a comfortable response using an LLM under the behind the scenes with this. And this is the different information that this is for because the URL is expired that I had to renew, but there are the different documents in that way in order to use, and you can iterate and combine the non-structured question and structured related question in order to infer that information and provide the agent. It will provide the response, combining all the different data that they will retrieve from the different tools that it will have to use in that way. This is all from my side, and finally to summarize that it's very easy to build an RAG application using our data, building a semantic view, for example. It will provide using wizard the different steps to make it easy, and generate the non-structured information using a Cortex search. You can set up your agent in an easy way in order to use the different tools that you want to use. Okay, and finally to provide the different orchestration. And finally, when you have set up that agent, you will be able to use this in order if you have the correct privilege in order to for and provide that access to the different customers, etc. For in order to use with in your corporation. Okay, so thank you very much. I don't know if you have any questions from your side.
Yeah, Cesar, thanks a lot for practical demo and also the insights about the Snowflake. I would like to first start from what account if he has any questions.
Yeah, I just have one question. So like we had the semantic view where we had the vector database, right?
Mhm.
Will it like if I add new data, do I need to go and regenerate the semantic view, or the more that I add to a table or the warehouse, it will
No,
keep adding?
it's very easy. So imagine that we have, for example, our semantic view. Okay, so we can go to our semantic view if we want to add, for example, or add other table. We can use the button. So we can select our other table, for example. Okay, and we can use. Add other table, for example, this table. Okay, it doesn't make sense, but we can use this and we can add all the columns that make sense in that way. And we want to add sample values to the semantic model. For example, when it will add that information, it will add sample values in order to aid with the interpretation of the data as well, and it will add description for every logic table. So it's very easy. It's only generate logical table. Okay, it will add or other logical table. For example, we are right now we have 4 logical tables. Previously only 3, and here we are our logical table is automatically documented. Okay, and it has detected the dimensions, the facts. This is the metrics, the dimensions information in order like attributes, etc. And you can add whatever that you want. Okay, but it is only you have to see that the valid is a valid semantic model, and you can make some questions to your semantic model. So it's very easy. You can test your semantic model. For example, we can make the same question: what are the sales of the 2000 year? Okay, so we can make and try to test or any question related to, for example, with a new table, or if this makes sense, and test if you are doing the changes correctly. Okay, you can make it and add whatever that you want. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you very much.
No one.
I have one more question, Cesar. How do you like in this AI models ensure that the results are accurate? Is there a way that because let's say if we have millions of data and okay one time we can get the result, like how we can make sure that it's gonna be like trustworthy for a long period of time that we don't worry.
This is a good question. So this is when you test your semantic view. For example, you can use, for example, more this one. Okay, you can check monitoring. You go to monitoring directly from the revenue time series semantic view. You can check the different questions that it has been made in order to check every step that it has been made. And you can also use, for example, the the different, there are other, for example, here, we can use the monitoring, okay? That here you can see how is interacting the data agent with the different users, okay? You can use here the different traces that has been generated, how is triggering, how is interpreting the information, okay? There are a lot of information that you can analyze in order to see if the data agent and the different tools are working properly in that way. And finally, you can use as well the feature about the AI observability. Then you can about here, okay, in evaluation, okay, that you can set up your you can evaluate your generative AI applications in order to check if how is using and evaluate the relevance about the different relevance and the groundness and the answering questions about how is working properly in percentage mode. Okay, but there are different features in order that you can use in order to check if there are if the application is working well, the user is using properly that information, or if there are problems about the performance or whatever that you think that can be degrade the service of the GenAI application. Okay?
Yeah, thanks a lot for the detailed information and answer. Yeah, I think we can conclude here. Cesar, again, I would like to thank you for the presentation and this really insightful topic. Guys, that was it. DevStandup episode 13. I hope it was helpful and beneficial for the people who are actively using the snowflakes. And AI is also the trending topic in the modern IT world. So as I already mentioned that every week we have one dev stand-up happening, and we can be our guest by filling up the speaker form under the description below of this video, and our team will contact you and you can be our next guest speaker. But apart from that, thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice evening and see you in our next dev stand-up. Bye bye.